Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Jill Valley. Dennis Sprague is off tonight. The University of Montana has released numbers that show the incoming freshman class has grown nearly 2% from a year ago. However, UM has an overall preliminary fall enrollment headcount of 11,865 students. That marks a 4.5% drop in total enrollments on the Missoula campus. However, school officials say that the drop was not unexpected. The fall 2017 undergrad headcount enrollment on the main campus saw 437 fewer students. Meanwhile, the number of grad students grew by 10%. UM's Vice President for Enrollment Management and Student Affairs, Tom Crady, said he was pleased to see the larger freshman class. The census also shows Missoula College has 317 fewer students. That represents a drop of 15%. It's being blamed on a large drop in dual enrollment by high school students. Wildlife officials confirm it was a female adult grizzly bear that attacked a hunter in the Spotted Bear Wilderness in the Flathead Valley over the weekend. Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks said it was on Sunday morning. A father and adult son were hunting black bears on the east side of the Hungry Horse Reservoir. They were pursuing a black bear when they encountered the Grizz. The bear grabbed the son's arm, and while the bear had a hold of him, the father shot the bear 2 times in an attempt to get his son free. The man sustained minor injuries in the encounter. The FWP Human Attack Response Team, with the help of 2 Bear Air, located the now dead female grizzly bear in the same area near the attack site on Monday. Neither of the men had bear spray. FWP is reminding people to make sure you have it if you're in bear country. Whitefish High School is rescheduling homecoming activities after cyber threats prompted the closure of Flathead Valley schools a few weeks ago. The Whitefish Bulldogs will celebrate on October 5th and 6th. Whitefish varsity football is hosting Polson on that day. There will also be a homecoming parade prior to the game at 4:30 in downtown Whitefish. For more information, you can go to our website. Now, U.S. Senator Steve Daines spoke today with the FBI about the increase of cyber threats in Montana in the wake of those threats that shut down those 30 Flathead area schools for 3 days. Senator Daines spoke with FBI Director Chris Wray about how we can be more proactive in preventing these attacks, and in the event they do happen, how can those who did it be brought to justice? Director Wray couldn't comment specifically on the Flathead incident, but did say the Bureau is aware of increased cyber threats and investigators will continue to be diligent when investigating those crimes.
I could not agree more that this concept of ransomware, cyber terrorism, the various variants of it that are hitting, and I think the example in your state illustrates that it's everywhere now. No longer just ransomware to, a big Fortune 500 company. It's hospitals, it's schools in your case. It is a very serious threat and it's growing.
Director Wray also says they believe some of the same organizations responsible for similar attacks are targeting victims in other countries as well. Well, it was a gorgeous fall day in western Montana. Some changes, though, are on tap for the weekend. Here's Chief Meteorologist Aaron Yost with our first forecast.
Pleasant conditions and a lot of sunshine to go along with that ridge of high pressure. So things are going to stay this nice for a while now as that ridge remains in place. Now, as Joe mentioned, we do have some changes headed our way. That's going to come this weekend as our next cool, wet system moves into the area. So again, enjoy the next couple of days before that happens. More details with a working microphone coming up in a bit.
The Bass Creek Recreation Area south of Florence has reopened after it was closed in mid-August because of the Lolo Peak fire. This is a site that's popular with horseback riders, hikers, campers, and mountain bikers. The sites that reopened include the Charles Water Memorial Campground, the Larry Creek Group Site Picnic Area, as well as non-motorized trails including Larry Creek Trails and Bass Creek Trail number 4. Bitterroot National Forest officials say there will be no fees or services at campgrounds, along with a pack it in, pack it out garbage until it's all closed by snow. Now, firefighters working on the Rice Ridge fire burning near Seeley Lake are making great progress on suppression repair work. There are 140 miles of suppression repair work that needs to be fixed, and of that, 59 miles is already complete. Surfaces burned by the Rice Ridge fire have been seeded for erosion control. On Tuesday, firefighters dismantled the fire protective wrap for the Carmichael cabin. They also unwrapped bridges and other structures that are no longer at risk. Fire managers have noted there's damage to 2 bridges and 1 outhouse while they were assessing the damage from the fire, and smoke does continue to show up in the vicinity of the Pyramid Pass trailhead, the Montour Guard Station, and in the swamps on the fire's west edge. Warming temperatures will increase fire behavior on the Sprague Fire burning in Glacier National Park. Crews will continue to hose down fuels on the trails between the Sperry Trailhead and the Johns Lake area. That's going to help firefighters hold the fire before it ever reaches going to the Sun Road near the north end of Lake McDonald. Now, the good news here is fire activity remains minimal, but firefighting resources will continue to monitor the south and west edges of this fire. Fire officials say more smoke is likely to be visible for these fires over the next few days. That Sprague Fire is at 17,000 acres. Thank you so much to everyone in Montana and beyond our state who has generously donated to our Montana Wildfire Relief Fund. We've teamed up with the Montana Community Foundation to help those impacted by our summer's devastating wildfires. We've received over 900 donations. The grand total of what we've raised now sits at more than $272,000. You can get more information and donate yourself by going to KPAX.com. Somebody vandalized an iconic statue in the Flathead over the weekend. That horse statue has been a symbol to the town of Hungry Horse for 6 generations. MTN's Nicole Miller spoke to native Craig Schaefer, whose family donated this to the town.
Sunday night, somebody took something very heavy and knocked the ears off of the statue.
The statue serves as a symbol of the town of Hungry Horse and is iconic and historic to the community.
Most everybody native in the valley or not has sat on this horse at one time or another. It's a generational thing with a lot of people. When they bring their grandchildren to Glacier Park, they'll remember sitting on this horse and they want their grandchildren to sit on this horse.
The statue was created in 1955 and has been an icon in the town ever since.
There's a lot of people very upset, and as a community has come together, we will repair this and eventually find out who did it.
The statue should be fixed in a week or 2.
I plan on reinforcing with some rebar type dowels in here, and it will be made out of grout, concrete, just like the original model. Because of the fact that it's a piece of folk art, I'll get it as close to the original as possible with a bit of artistic flavor in it.
Reporting in Hungry Horse, Nicole Miller, MTN News.
And anyone with information about the incident is asked to contact 753-TIPS. New models for homeless veterans housing and care are being implemented in Missoula County. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs requires organizations that support housing homeless veterans reapply for funding earlier this year, which came as a surprise for 2 Missoula organizations. MTN's Augusta McDonald has more on how some of the new changes and continuing programs are working.
Missoula has 2 programs that provide housing and services for homeless veterans. After they received notice early this year that their current grants could expire, they jumped to the task of securing funding.
All of the per diem grants around the country end at 9/30/2017. And if you were not renewed, if you were one of the programs that did not get renewed, they would give you until December to figure out a way to either continue your program or phase it out. So it was a very short timeline. And we're very happy that we're not forced into that position and that we get to continue.
The Valor House, which hosts up to 17 vets in supportive housing, did secure a grant to continue their current work. The Poverello Center is the other program and operates the Housing Montana Heroes program. It has the capacity for 20 veterans. The POVs director says they saw an opportunity to improve their services by applying for grants to support 2 different new models of care.
Divides our beds up essentially into a couple of different smaller programs, so we're able to offer more tailored services to the veterans that we're serving here in Missoula.
Other programs around the country were not so fortunate. The VA eliminated 15,000 funded beds nationwide. One veteran currently living here at the Valor House says the program has given him the resources to conceive goals, to believe in them, and the opportunities to achieve them. James Diaz says he has suffered under chronic homelessness for over a decade, and a long road has brought him to this program.
In reality, You know, we all hope for the same. We all hope for success, and we all hope to be able to gain in completing our goals satisfaction and be able to find happiness in that success.
Diaz says the Valor House is giving him the resources to rise above his circumstances and pursue his goals. Reporting in Missoula, I'm Augusta McDonald for MTN News.
The beds for veterans are secured for at least another year. Both programs work to support veterans to increase their income, eventually moving on to a permanent housing situation. Well, still ahead here on KPAX, Puerto Rico continues to deal with a humanitarian crisis. We'll take you to the devastated island for the latest on relief efforts. And layer Maria has regained strength. She has become a hurricane once again. Now it's off the coast of North Carolina. We'll take a look at that storm here on KPAX.